Today on People Now, Gwyneth Paltrow opens up about her conscious uncoupling and why her ex-husband Chris Martin is really like her brother.
Harvey Weinstein's ex-assistant speaks out, saying she had to clean up after his sexual encounters. That and more details about her lawsuit.
Waco star Taylor Kitsch weighs in on the Me Too movement and how Hollywood is changing.
Plus, why Taylor finally gave in and joined Instagram.
I still don't know really what I'm doing on that thing.
Does Logan Paul deserve a second chance? The disgraced YouTube star trying to rebuild with a new video all about suicide prevention. We'll discuss.
And People magazine investigates a killer in the family. We're breaking down 3 things you need to know about a shocking case.
Plus, the Grammys are this weekend, everybody. Woo! Oh yeah, we're getting you prepped with some of the show's most outrageous red carpet moments from years past. Good morning, happy Friday, everybody. We are very excited for the weekend, especially, guys, because the Grammy Awards are this Sunday. Yes. Woo! Super excited around here. And in honor of the big award show, we are asking you guys, what is your all-time favorite Grammys moment? Was it the Gaga meat dress, perhaps? Pink's Cirque du Soleil? So many to choose from, really, when you think about the looks. It's our question of the day. Tweet us at People using the hashtag PeopleNow. We will read your responses live on the air in a little bit. But first, here's what you need to know and what's trending for your Friday. Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant has sued the disgraced Hollywood mogul, claiming she was required to clean up after his sexual encounters, this according to court documents filed on Thursday. Sandeep Rahal is suing Weinstein, his brother Bob, the Weinstein Company, and the company's head of human resources, Frank Gill, for being, quote, forced to work in a pervasive and severe sexually hostile work environment. The court documents state that much of her work as an employee of the Weinstein Company involved catering to Harvey Weinstein's sexual appetites and activities, including maintaining a list of contacts with a special asterisk that identified Harvey Weinstein's girls, purchasing women's lingerie, managing the stock of Weinstein's erectile dysfunction injections, and setting up an apartment close to Weinstein's office for him to use with one of his sexual liaisons. Rahal also alleges that part of her duties included cleaning up, quote, the semen on the couch in Harvey Weinstein's office, which she claims happened about 3 times a week when Weinstein was in New York. Rahal began working for Weinstein in 2013 when she was 26, but quit in February 2015 when she reached a, quote, emotional breaking point. Rahal also alleges that on almost a weekly basis, she was required to take dictation of emails from Weinstein while he was naked, and that almost every time she drove with Weinstein, he made her sit in the back with him and touched her thighs. A spokesperson for Weinstein says he, quote, categorically denies Rahal's allegations, calling them, quote, claims for money in the realm of a science fiction movie. The Oscar-winning producer has been accused of sexual misconduct by over 60 women since the New York Times and the New Yorker documented decades of alleged sexual misconduct and sexual assault in October. A spokesperson for Weinstein previously told People in a statement that Weinstein denies any allegations of non-consensual sex. Well, guys, the body of the late Storm Chaser star Joel Taylor has been released following an autopsy in San Juan, Puerto Rico. People confirms that the Institute of Forensic Sciences of Puerto Rico conducted an autopsy on Taylor after his family identified him on Wednesday, and his body has been released and is reportedly being transported to a funeral home back in his hometown of Elk City, Oklahoma. A funeral service is scheduled for Monday. Results of his autopsy and toxicology report have not been released yet. The 38-year-old Discovery Channel star was found dead in his cabin on the Royal Caribbean cruise ship Harmony of the Seas, which docked in San Juan on Tuesday. The U.S. Coast Guard responded to the call that there had been a death on board, and an investigation is underway. Stay on People.com for all the latest updates as these details become more available. And now we move on to this. Watch.
He's really like my brother. We're very familial. It's really, it's nice. It's great.
Yeah.
No?
Well, it's just hard to describe somebody you had children with as your brother.
Which would explain the divorce. No, I get it.
Touche. Touche.
Gwyneth Paltrow getting real about her relationship with ex-husband Chris Martin, and I think it's safe to say every divorced couple wants something just like this. Coldplay pun, very much intended there. Something just like this. The duo famously I'm sorry. Consciously uncoupled in March 2014 after over 10 years together. Paltrow telling late-night host Stephen Colbert that the pair put their differences aside for their children, 13-year-old Apple and 11-year-old Moses. But that doesn't mean things weren't easy, or were easy. The Goop founder explaining divorce is terrible. It was very painful. It was really hard. We really genuinely wanted our kids to be as unscathed as possible. We thought if we could really maintain the family, even though we weren't a couple, that was kind of the goal. So that's what we've tried to do. Although the friendly exes are close, don't get it twisted, Paltrow and Martin have completely moved on from their romantic relationship. In fact, the Oscar-winning actress debuted a massive sapphire engagement ring Saturday night, just a few weeks after she and fiancé Brad Falchuk officially confirmed their engagement on the cover of Goop magazine's Sex and Love issue. Paltrow, who's been dating Falchuk for over 3 years, called him, quote, the man I was meant to be with. She said, I have accepted the soul-stretching, pattern-breaking opportunities that terrifyingly are made possible by intimacy. Meanwhile, Martin and 50 Shades actress Dakota Johnson have been fueling romance rumors since October. The pair have been spotted out and about on multiple occasions, from Malibu beach strolls to casual hangouts in Argentina. No big deal. Now watch this, guys. Couldn't help but notice that you recently joined Instagram.
I did.
You caved in.
Caved.
Did.
You
Succumbed.
caved. What led to this big momentous decision?
Oh, it was huge.
Yeah,
this was life altering.
We felt the waves on social media when it happened.
Yeah, I think it's just nice because I think before I did, there's like 15 people as me on there.
We noticed that before.
So, and it gets a bit creepy, and so it's nice to like at least have control over yourself.
Did you look to anyone for tips on Instagram?
No.
Because you got to make that Instagram
I still
pop.
don't know really what I'm doing on that thing yet, like the logistic part of it of how to do it, but just keep it simple and keep your mouth shut 99% of the time.
Yeah, there you go. Wise words by Taylor Kitsch. We'll be watching as he gets more acclimated. Taylor was here to promote his new series, Waco. It's based on the 1993 siege involving cult leader David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. The 6-part miniseries just kicked off on Wednesday night, but we all remember Kitsch, of course, from his breakout role as Tim Riggins in the TV drama Friday Night Lights. Since he's been in the biz for a while now, we wanted to get his take on the current mood in Hollywood and beyond. Watch. We're in this really unique moment, obviously, with Me Too, Time's Up, all that. What do you make of all that and the mood that's currently being felt in the industry?
I think it's amazing, you know, just that they're being heard and there's a voice now. And it's very empowering to see it, and I think it's a great thing to have, you know, to talk about it and be able to talk about it and not to suffer or feel you're going to be penalized if you do, you know. So I think it's a great thing.
There you go, guys. Taylor Kitsch.
And if you haven't seen Waco, you got to check it out because it's really, really good.
So good.
Excellent.
And guys, we're checking in our question of the day. We're asking you guys, what is your all-time favorite Grammys moment?
Yeah, Sam says, I'm ready for some Beyonce and Jay-Z action. Aren't we all?
I think everyone's going to be watching for that.
Yeah, my favorite moment is anytime Brianna performs.
Yeah.
She's my fave, especially at award shows.
The looks are always incredible on the Grammys red carpet. By the way, earlier I mentioned the meat dress, which was actually the VMAs.
That's actually the VMAs.
But the point is, there are some wild looks.
Especially Lady Gaga. She always delivers at any show.
All right, so here's a tweet. It says, I legit don't know who should win Record of the Year. I loved all those songs. I don't know.
And a Miley Cyrus fan account giving a little glimpse into what the seating's going to look like. So it looks like Lady Gaga sitting next to Elton John, and she's right behind them. Wow. That's a corner to watch right there. Star-studded.
Yeah, that's the seating. There's going to be a camera posted there the entire night for cutaways. Please just, they just streamed that camera all night online so we can watch it.
You know we're going to get good reactions and gifts.
All right, guys, keep the comments coming in. We're going to check in with you again soon. But first, Andrea, more for us in Star Trek.
So we've been talking Grammy. So we are kicking off Star Treks with one fabulous music expert. The 60th Annual Grammy Awards are just 2 days away. So when legendary Grammy winner Toni Braxton stopped by People Now, we had to get her expert opinion on who will win big this year.
There are people that I love. I mean, I'm a big hip hopper.
Okay, right.
I love that. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
My left stroke just went viral.
I'm kind of rooting for him.
Okay, rooting for Kendrick.
Yeah.
And so you're saying maybe we'll see there, maybe we won't, but you're going to do the parties.
I'm going to
try to do a little Clive
maybe a
Davis.
little cameo, say hi.
Okay.
Yes, Tony, get your Grammy party on. Now, Kendrick Lamar received 7 nominations for this year's Grammys, including nods for Record and Album of the Year. He's second only to Jay-Z, who has 8 noms. Now, meanwhile, Toni Braxton has 7 total Grammy wins under her belt. I don't know, the number 7 again. Maybe this is a sign. Is this a stretching? I'm not sure.
Yes.
I guess we'll have to wait and see if Kendrick wins big this weekend. I hope he does. The Grammys air live on CBS Sunday, January 28th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We can't wait to see all the notable moments and who wins big this year. And of course, some of the most iconic and outrageous celebrity fashion moments have definitely occurred at the Grammys. And to celebrate 60 years, we're gonna flash it back. First up, the year Y2K. JWoww was nominated for Waiting for Tonight and wore probably the undisputed most iconic Grammy dress of all time, a green tropical print, deep plunging dress. Do you remember this one? Fabulous. Then we go to Toni Braxton. She won Best Female R&B Vocal Performance in 2001 and bared all in a daring white satin dress with a dangerously high slit. Very dangerous. In 2012, Nicki Minaj nominated in 4 categories, dressed in a red hood and brought a fake pope. The Best New Artist nominee certainly packed a punch. Look at her.
He want that cake.
Rihanna sang about birthday cake in 2011, but we had no idea she'd show up looking like the most elegant 2-tiered pink cake in this show-stopping dress at the 2015 Grammys. She won big that night for her collab with Eminem in The Monster. I think the dress was her good luck charm, possibly. Speaking of cake, Madonna also had hers on display at the awards in 2015. Now, she changed her onstage performance, but definitely gave fans an eyeful. Now, almost every Lady Gaga Grammys appearance is a most outrageous Grammy moment. In 2010, Lady Gaga looked like an illuminated fairy princess in a pale lavender gown, complete with a spiked orb. And she won 2 Grammys that night.
Like a space princess.
I know. The next year, Lady Gaga showed up to the Grammys in an egg and didn't crack it open until it was time for her performance of Born This Way on stage. It's very clever. She's in the egg. 5 years later, Lady Gaga paid tribute to the late David Bowie during the ceremony, but first she decided to channel the iconic rocker on the red carpet in an epic Marc Jacobs dress, looking fab there. And in 2017, Lady Gaga performed with Metallica and proved she truly is a chameleon, channeling the heavy metal vibe with those thigh-high patent leather boots, fishnets, and some major underboob in a spiky patent leather top. Gaga is truly the queen of over the top, and I cannot wait to see who tops any of these this year. Those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, guys, now to this. Newly engaged Gwyneth Paltrow and her ex Chris Martin have successfully moved on from their marriage, and they are making co-parenting look like a breeze.
Yeah, now Gwyneth and Chris believe in experiencing things together with the kids. They both also take the time to do things that reinforce the feeling of family, which I think is always great because they're always thinking about the kids. They're not the only celebrity couple making it work.
That's right. Let's take a look here. Kourtney Kardashian and her ex-boyfriend Scott Disick may go at it from time to time, but they also try to do activities together with their 3 children, Mason, Penelope, and Reign. Kourtney revealing that she actually finds co-parenting, quote, really easy, and that the key for her and Scott has been constant communication.
That's nice to hear. Well, for Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony, the road to friendship has been a little rockier. JLo revealed in 2016 that it was hard for her to forgive Mark when they first divorced. But now the exes are great friends. Lopez says she feels responsibility as a mom to let her kids know that daddy loves them even when he's not around. And Mark does the same when she's not around as well.
Yeah, Anna Faris recently opened up about co-parenting her 5-year-old son Jack with Chris Pratt now that they are no longer together. They're both still friends, and Anna says that they make it a point to remind little Jack of what a good kid he is and surround him with, quote, a lot of joy and happiness.
Oh, that's
a great
cute.
idea.
Yeah, Reese Witherspoon and ex-husband Ryan Phillippe are 12 years deep in the co-parenting game. They make it work by trading off holidays with their 17-year-old daughter Ava and 13-year-old son Deacon. Now, Phillippe emphasizes that being a divorced parent is about not putting yourself first, and that he and Reese have been good about sharing time with their kids.
Yeah, working it out. We love how they're able to work that out. Exes Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck also know a thing or two about putting the kids first. Just recently, Garner brought kids Violet, Serafina, and Samuel along to join Affleck in London while he was working on Justice League. Jen and Ben are still good friends, and Jen said that her kids should, quote, have that experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's always sad when couples break up, but you always think about the kids, and at least these people have figured it out, how to co-parent.
Good examples of how to make it work.
Yes.
Now we move on to this. Watch.
So I've never been so humbled in my life by a single event.
Were you kind of shocked by it?
I was shocked to discover just how big this is.
You've never known anybody that killed themselves?
No one. No one, and that was part of the problem. It's just my ignorance on the subject.
But in Ohio, where you come from, it's the second leading cause of death.
And I know while I'm not able to solve the problem by myself, I want to be a part of the solution.
Well, on Wednesday, YouTube star Logan Paul returned to vlogging with his first post since facing severe backlash over a controversial video that appeared to show the body of an alleged suicide victim in Japan.
Yeah, Paul deleted the video, apologized, and shut down his page in the wake of the controversy.
Yeah, now, Paul's new video is solely dedicated to suicide education and prevention.
So guys, in the video, Paul admits that he, quote, has made mistakes, has let people down, but he wants to help make a difference in the world now.
Yeah, so in the video, he sits down with a few different people to help him better understand the complexities of suicide.
One of the people being Kevin Hines, who survived a suicide attempt after jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge 17 years ago. It's a really compelling story.
Yeah, now Paul even explains the 5 simple steps people can use when confronted with someone considering suicide.
Yeah, at the end of the video, he reveals that he's donating $1 million to various suicide prevention groups.
Yeah, and $250,000 of that is going to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
Yeah, I mean, good that he's donating, good that he's doing that. Obviously, this is a blatant PR move to kind of move forward.
Yeah, so the big question here is, you know, after this video and his apology, does Logan Paul deserve a second chance?
Well, the Washington Post has called the PSA, quote, a video about his own redemption story. Obviously, a lot of people having different feelings on this.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are asking, is this just a big PR move?
And
Which
I think,
kind of,
obviously,
it obviously is.
But overall, if this helps just one person thinking about suicide, then was it the right move?
Because you are learning about it, and
Right.
you're hearing these wonderful stories about these people that survived it. But, you know, here's something to note. Logan Paul has well over 16 million followers, a lot of them in middle school and high school. These are very impressionable kids.
Yeah. He's actually gained followers since that original video scandal as well, which is it's kind of a bizarre thing to kind of think about in the day and age of social media and everything. Even the worst press, you end up gaining a lot of following.
The Washington Post also noted that the Paul family teased Logan's video earlier this week. Brother Jake Paul opening up about Logan's controversy, saying this.
I know Logan more than probably anybody else, and I do know though that he did not mean to offend anyone, and I could tell when he's like in shock, and he didn't handle the situation the right way, but I know in the back of his head he didn't mean to offend or hurt anybody.
Okay, and their dad, Greg Paul, who's also a vlogger, by the way, teased his son's video saying, here's the quote, get your vlog belts on because some things are coming at you that you've been waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, a whole family of vloggers, all of them, of course, surrounding and supporting Logan through all of this.
Yeah, Logan's suicide awareness video now has over 16 million views and counting. So I guess that, you know, time will tell to see how people respond to his apology, if it's accepted. I'm seeing people commenting here saying like, bull crap, it doesn't erase what he did. The one thing I guess I would say is that, you know, because of those young followers and so many of them, I think they're more forgiving than a lot of us are.
Yeah.
And they're going to listen to what he says no matter what. So at least, even though he had this flippant, terrible moment, at least he's now got this video that might help someone. I don't know.
If you watch the video, you do see that he clearly has not been affected by suicide in his life and was unaware. And if anything, is highlighting these great stories of people that have survived suicide.
Yeah.
But
look,
we'll see.
Really dumb move of what he did. He's trying to rebuild his own. This is all self-preservation. We got it, but at least maybe it'll help someone if a story hits home for someone. Anyway, stay with us, guys. Elton John is opening up in a new interview about losing his great friend, the late Princess Diana. Plus, JWoww is starring in a new kind of role that is coming up in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, but first, This Is Us stars Mandy Moore and Susan Kelechi Watson are off-screen BFFs. So when Susan stopped by People Now, I had to get the deets on her friend's upcoming wedding and whether or not there's any pre-I do jitters.
She hasn't looked stressed at all. She seems, you know, she's doing her whole house, like her whole house she's doing over, and she's been documenting it a bit on IG. And so I think that's probably the most stressful thing. But you know, her and her guy are so solid and so cool together, and so she hasn't broke a sweat yet.
Okay.
You know, but I don't know if the wedding date is right around the corner either. So like, I think she's okay. But I was so happy when that happened. Yeah.
You don't think she's gonna be a bridezilla or anything?
Nah, it doesn't look like it. But that did make the group text.
Okay.
That announcement.
Oh,
yeah,
really? Nice. So that's how you found out?
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
I think we were one of the first that she told. So
have you met her fiance?
Yeah. He's a great musician, and he comes and supports all the time. So we've known him now since the show has started. Yeah. So, you know, got a chance to know him a bit and see them together, which is cool.
Well, it looks like Mandy is too blessed to be stressed. Speaking of blessings, Susan just had the opportunity to play grown-up Blue Ivy in Jay-Z's Family Feud music video. And although she didn't get to hang out with B&J, she did get to meet a lot of other pretty cool people.
It's like I remember my father saying when I was a little girl, nobody wins when the family feuds. It's always been my dream growing up, you know, from Brooklyn, Long Island, to be in a hip hop video, you know, and it's just always been somewhere in the back of my mind. So when Ava DuVernay called and asked me to do it, she said, yeah, I want you to come on and play this, and I couldn't tell anybody, even my representation didn't know what I was doing. People on set were working that day and did not know why. Like, they did not know the project they were working on. That's how secretive it was.
Wow.
So, and then you saw a powerhouse group of people in this video. I mean, it was Niecy Nash, Constance Wu, Brie Larson, Rashida Jones.
Mindy Kaling.
Yeah, Mindy
like,
Kaling. I mean, it was like amazing. And Rosario Dawson, it was just, it was a really, and they're such a fantastic bunch of people. We had a great time together in that room, and I kind of got to know them. And now when I see them out, you know, saw Niecy last night, which was fantastic. I saw Constance at the Critics' Choice. I've seen Rosario out, and it's been, so it brought really great women together that I feel like we're bonded by that moment. America is a family, and the whole family should be free. It was amazing, and then I got to play Adult Blue, and I saw the side-by-side shots, and I was like, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it too. On to this. Jenny JWoww Farley might be known for her Jersey Shore partying lifestyle, but the reality star is taking on a new role as host for TLC's new show, Young Americans. The show focuses on entertaining and empowering millennials, giving advice on everything from parenting to relationships. So I wanted to know if there was anything off limits for JWoww when it comes to talking about her own life. Here's what she told me.
Roger and I, my husband and I, keep it very honest. Like, we're just putting on our Instagram, our daughter, who's 3, saying the F word over and over.
And who did you get it from, mainly?
Probably me.
Okay, there you go.
But it's like, do I hide that? And do I live the celebrity life of being like, oh my God, or the Instagram life, I should say.
Instagram life, that's it, yeah.
Of like, everything's so perfect and filtered and everything looks so great. Or do I put out the fact that my 3-year-old says, effing kill it? Like, and I'm like, all right, so somewhere along the line, I was probably really excited for Jersey Shore or something and being like, yeah, we're gonna effing kill it. My daughter was right there, and now she's jumping from the ottoman to the couch being like, yeah, effing kill it. And I'm like,
you can't help but laugh. Elton John is opening up about his summer in Sicily when he hung out with Prince Harry and learned there that Harry was, quote, totally in love with his now fiancée Meghan Markle. Well, he got the inside scoop. Elton says in a new interview on the UK show ITV's Lorraine, quote, he didn't really discuss much personally, but he said, I'm in love, and I thought, good for you. Elton went on to say that Harry's brother, Prince William, who has been married for almost 7 years, seems just as happy. Elton adding, quote, both those boys seem to be ecstatically happy, and that's all you want people to be, no matter who they are. Breaking down this new interview and all the latest Royals news is our Royal correspondent, Imogen Lloyd-Webber. Welcome, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Let's dive right in here. It makes sense, of course, that Elton John is invested in Prince William and Harry's happiness because, of course, his friendship with their late mother, Princess Diana, was something that we were all very aware of.
He is. During the same interview, he also spoke about Diana, calling her a great friend, even though they had some trying moments in their friendship. Right. He said he loved her because, quote, she did so much for AIDS and she was a great friend to me. They did once have a falling out, but reconciled and were close at the time of her death.
All right, now Elton went on to call the summer that Diana died in 1997, quote, extraordinary. Their friend Gianni Versace was murdered that July, and following that, he says Princess Diana called him to reconcile. 6 weeks later, she was dead. He says he couldn't believe what was going on during all of that.
Elton, of course, famously performed Candle in the Wind at her funeral at Westminster Abbey on September the 6th, 1997. I still remember how that song went viral on radio that week, so it was a very organic decision, but it really touched everybody's souls, I think.
And even seeing that image of him singing it there, I remember that so vividly. It's one of those things you never forget. And moving on now, Prince William and Harry's cousin, Princess Eugenie, announced her engagement on Monday, and we are so excited to add another royal wedding to the calendar this year. It's getting busy. But who's she marrying? What's his deal? Let's break down the top 3 things to know about Princess Eugenie's fiancé, Jack Brooksbank. We'll start with his background. Is he royal too? Is he an aristocrat? What's the deal?
He is not, but Jack does have a pricey pedigree. Jack's father, George, an accountant and company director, and his mother, Nicola, sent Jack to the very exclusive Stowe Private School in Buckinghamshire, England. Stowe has been ranked by Business Insider as one of the top 15 hardest private schools to get into in the UK. Sir Richard Branson, a virgin, he even famously attended the school for a few years as a teen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. As you can probably guess, tuition is steep, about $13,000 a semester.
Oh, no big deal. Write the check.
Yeah, those that attend these private schools, which the Brits confusingly label public schools, all run in the same sort of social set.
What if they take credit cards? Probably not. Yeah, I hope you learned a lot for that price. It's always so fascinating, though, isn't it, how someone without a royal background can sort of make their way into that world. Of course, we look at Meghan Markle as well. But how did Eugenie and Jack meet?
So these public school types gravitate to the same locations, which is how Princess Eugenie and Jack came to meet at the exclusive ski resort of Verbier in Switzerland. They were introduced by friends. Eugenie was still at university at the time, and they managed to keep their relationship going even when it went long distance. Eugenie left London for New York in 2013, where she worked for an online auction house for a few years. Princess Eugenie and Jack are said to have kept up with each other via Skype and got lots of support from friends to make the setup work for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the couple has been dating for about 7 years at this point, and thankfully Eugenie is now back in London.
Nice to have that the long distance thing worked. It gives hope to a lot of people,
to a lot
right?
Of people out there.
It can work out. We know Eugenie is in the art world. She now works as an associate director for an art gallery. But what does Jack do for a living?
Jack is in the hospitality trade. He got his feet wet working in pubs where he caught the eye of London restaurateur Piers Adam, who asked him to join the team at the trendy Markham Inn. He's also the manager of Mahiki nightclub, which used to be popular with the young royals, including William and Harry, oh, and me, and works with George Clooney's tequila business, Casamigos.
Ah, you rolled in the circles. There you go.
They did a cocktail called a treasure chest.
Oh, my goodness.
Moving
we'll
on.
We'll talk about that in a bit. It seems like Jack has gotten a warm welcome from Eugenie's family, though. Her mom, Sarah, Duchess of York, a.k.a. Fergie, could not stop tweeting about their engagement after the news broke. Let's take a look. First, she posted this tweet on Monday, black and white photo of her daughter and her fiance with a message written on it saying in part, quote, "Total joy. We love Jack. I'm so excited to have a son." It's a very nice one. And then just about 10 minutes later, Fergie posted this photo. Let's look with the caption, "They float with laughter and love. Although a boat helps." I like a little
thought went into that one.
I like that one. Yeah, a little twist. Later that day, she was at it again, posting this one, caption, "They make laughter and we feel the joy. Thank you for the magic."
Royals, just like us, they have mothers with social media, and you never know what's going to happen.
Mothers with social media, but getting creative there. I like that. And keep in mind, guys, these are just some of her tweets from that day. She is one proud mama, that is definitely for sure. Now, speaking of Fergie, a lot of people noticed that Eugenie's gorgeous engagement ring actually looks a lot like the one her father, Prince Andrew, got for her mother before their wedding back in 1986.
Yes, they do look similar. Eugenie's ring, which she and Jack designed together after his proposal, is a blush-coloured Paprachka sapphire ring surrounded by diamonds in a gold setting.
That looks beautiful.
The Paprachka sapphire is one of the world's rarest and most expensive gemstones. It bears a very close resemblance to her mother, Sarah Duchess of York's ring, a pink Burma ruby, also surrounded by diamonds.
There you go.
Yeah.
Of course, another royal bride also famously wears a sapphire ring, Duchess Kate, lest we forget.
We can't forget about her, you know that, Jeremy. Kate's engagement ring, once belonging to William's mother, Princess Diana, is an oval sapphire surrounded by diamonds, which also looks quite a bit like Eugenie's. One thing is for sure, this family has got very good taste when it comes to jewelry.
They do, agreed. Well, thank you so much, as always, for Imogen. And by the way, congratulations to your father, who's been honored at the Grammys.
Grammys on Sunday night. Patti LuPone is singing Don't Cry For Me, Argentina.
We'll look for Andrew Lloyd Webber and all of that, and it's going to be a great night. All right, for all the latest on royal engagements, weddings, appearances, and more, stay on People.com.
First thing we notice is shell casings on the ground, broken glass, just a terrible scene.
7825, code 6, 105 North Avenue.
And then inside the master bedroom, 2 adults were found shot to death.
The victims are Brad and Andrea Sachs, the children's parents. They're riddled with bullets and suffered fatal gunshot wounds to the head.
The new episode of Discovery ID's People magazine investigates, explores the murders of Brad and Andrea Sachs, 2 self-made millionaires whose picture-perfect lives were unexpectedly shattered by someone they knew and loved. Well, joining us now to break down this case is People staff writer Caitlin Keating. Caitlin, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So this is a very intense case. Now, before we dive into the night of the murders, who were Brad and Andrea Sachs? Why would they be targets of such a vicious attack?
Yeah, so they met at this computer trade convention. They were in the same business, immediately just kind of fell for each other. They were madly in love, and they were also business partners. And at the time of the murder, they were worth around $80 million. So you can assume with that much money, you might have a few enemies.
Yeah.
So that was, you know, when they were murdered, it was kind of like, Was it a business partner? What really happened?
Yeah, it makes it a little more high profile.
Exactly.
Now, their life wasn't as perfect as it seemed. What kind of secrets were they hiding?
So in 1999, they had 4 children, and when Brad was out of town for work and Andrea was at work herself, they had a nanny taking care of the kids, and their youngest daughter tragically walked outside at 18 months and fell into their big swimming pool and drowned. So this was obviously a devastating loss, and it was huge, and after that, their marriage just really kind of fell apart.
So there's definitely some turmoil there. Now, these killings had investigators guessing from start to finish.
Yes.
What really happened the night of the murders?
So it was 1:30 in the morning, and their 16-year-old daughter called 911 frantically, saying that she woke up to gunshots. The police immediately arrived and saw 2 teenage daughters hovering over their 8-year-old brother who had been shot 3 times. This home was huge. They walked around the house and walked into the master bedroom and found Brad and Andrea riddled with bullets to the head. It was really more than a murder. It was really just an execution. It was awful.
It's gruesome.
Yeah.
I mean, how quickly did police begin to suspect someone unexpected?
Yeah, so at first, I mean, everyone was grieving and police were hard at work and they actually had no idea who could have committed this crime. But 1 month later, it was a neighbor's surveillance camera that picked up a car that was fleeing the scene. It was very vague. There was no license plate. They couldn't see who the driver was. But after then looking at more surveillance of nearby highways, they saw that it was a white Prius that was fleeing the scene very fast and definitely trying to get out of town. And it was that discovery that would end up leading to figuring out who this was. Yeah, they ended up going back to the family, and the family said, we do know someone who is a white Prius. This person's very, very close to us.
Wow. Someone close to them.
Very close. It was very shocking.
So this case is closed and everything.
Yeah.
Wow, well, you guys definitely tune in to figure out that. Thank you so much, Caitlin.
Thank you.
And you guys tune in to the next episode of People Magazine Investigates for the conclusion of this case, airing this Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Discovery ID.
This is Jennifer Lawrence in People. This is Jennifer photobombing Taylor Swift and Sarah Jessica Parker and Liam Hemsworth, proving that while we all love the fashion of the red carpet, it's people who steal the show. People. The details make the story.
All right, guys, let's check back in on the question of the day one last time. We are asking you guys what your all-time favorite Grammys moment is.
Yes, Jenny says, can't wait to see what everyone is wearing. That is, I mean, I really like that. Sing the outfits.
Yeah.
They always bring it.
And here's what else Twitter's saying about Sunday's Grammys. Let's take a quick look. I believe we have some tweets. Maybe? Do we? I don't know.
I don't know.
But look, in the meantime,
we can look at it.
Everyone there's look good. All right, this says, Dre says, good morning, hooligans. Happy Friday, happy Grammys weekend. Happy. Let's get it.
Here we have, I just watched a commercial for the Grammy Awards and I only knew one artist. Am I getting old?
One of the signs. One of the signs for sure. We're going to be asking you a new question of the day on Monday, so come back at 8:30 for that. By the way, before we go, I've got to say this. It's National Australia Day, everyone. And our technical, or not national, it's just Australia Day. In Australia, not here, but our technical director, Nathan, is a huge fan. Look what he's provided for all of us. Oh my.
Wait, how come I didn't get anything, Jeremy?
You can come in here and get them later. I feel so Aussie. There's even a koala bear for
Jeremy,
your
what did
thumb.
you name? What did you name the kangaroo?
Hoppy. I don't know. Kanga. God. All right, Nathan, we did it. Happy Australia. Coming up next week, we're breaking down everything you need to know from Sunday night's Grammys. Plus, we've got more with Waco star Taylor Kitsch telling us what it was like learning how to play guitar for his role. He learned and he loves it, and he still plays, guys. Really cool.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from This Is Us star Susan Kelechi Watson. Bye.
Hey, I'm Susan Kelechi Watson, and this is one last thing. My last girls' night actually happened on set recently, where I got to hang out with a bunch of the girls in my cast, and that was pretty bananas. Of course, I can't say what that was because we can't say anything about the show. My last big splurge. God, I don't splurge on anything. So sad. Oh, I'm furnishing my place in LA, so I just bought like a bunch of new furniture, and that was big for me. The last time I laughed so hard, I cried. My brothers were with me in LA recently, and they are big jokers, and they said some really funny jokes that had me rolling on the floor. So it's always good to joke with them.